Hi, I'm Rona, and today we're going to look at how to teach your dog to enjoy the crate. So many dogs don't like being in a crate and find it really stressful, so today we're going to look at how to build it up gradually so that your dog can find it a more positive experience. It's going to be hard if your dog really finds it stressful and gets really anxious in the crate, if they've had lots of bad experiences by being shut in the crate. But it can still be worked on, it just may take a little longer. It's easier if you're working with a puppy who doesn't have any experience of being in a crate, and we're just going to build positive experience from the beginning. So I'm going to show you one way today how to make your dog enjoy the crate more. It is common that dogs don't like to be shut in a crate, and if your dog has had bad experiences of being shut in a crate where they're really stressed, it is going to be a little harder for you in comparison to having a puppy who's never been in a crate, which we can just start with a positive association straight away. But not to say that you can't still do this, you just may take a little longer when working with your dog. We're going to use treats. Chase here is really food orientated. So you can do the same with a toy, but today I'm just going to show you using treats. So crates are really useful. What you need to do first is just make sure that it's a nice place generally for your dog to be. So Chase has got his nice blanket in here that he likes. Obviously a food bowl as it progresses, and water and things like that if you're going to leave your dog in the crate. So to begin with, I'm just going to reward Chase for being near the crate. Okay? So he's already getting a positive experience of the crate being around and getting rewarded for it. Because he's quite confident with this already, and he's not too worried about going near the crate, I'm just going to bring treats closer to the door. So I'm going to do this a couple times. Good boy. Now I'm going to actually put some treats in the crate for Chase, just to encourage him to take a few steps towards the crate. If he stays in there, that's great. I'm just going to add a few more treats in. If your dog is really reluctant to walk straight into the crate, you just need to start with the basic step of being around the crate and rewarding that. So Chase is quite confident with this. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to encourage him to go in a little further by adding a few more treats. Good boy. Putting them towards the back to try and encourage him to go in. Good boy. Good. So with Chase here, he's quite comfortable sitting in the crate, so I'm just rewarding him with a few treats. If your dog hasn't made it this far, you just need to focus on them being comfortable outside of the crate to begin with. So Chase can get a few treats in the crate, making it a positive experience. I'm not going to worry about shutting the door to begin with. You're just going to make sure that they can sit comfortably in the crate and take a few treats. Now Chase is quite confidently doing this. I'm just going to close the door for a second, open it up again, and give him another treat. Okay, so I'm not actually shutting him in there, I'm just wanting to get him used to the door being closed and him sitting inside. So we're going to try that again. This time I'm going to put the lock on. Good. So if he steps out the crate, I'm just simply going to reward in the crate rather than giving him a treat out, because I want him to understand that everything good happens in his crate. Okay, good boy. So Chase. Good boy. So this time I'm going to shut him in, and I'm just going to move slightly away, and then I'm going to come back and reward. If he comes out, Chase. Good boy. So you can see Chase was a little bit more uncomfortable when I then shut and left him in it, and he's not really wanting to go in as much. But you can just work on this gradually. It is a lot easier if you have a young dog. Good boy. Good. So you can practice this at home. It's really important just to go at your dog's rate of progression. So if you see that they're getting a little bit worried about going in the crate, then just take it a step backwards and work from outside the crate. You can see Chase here is automatically going into the crate now because he knows that that's where the good things happen. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to increase the duration that he's there for. So this is a step that you need to take once you've worked on the first steps quite a few times. So I'm going to give him one last treat in the crate, and now I'm going to shut the door, and I'm just going to leave him there for a few seconds. Good boy. Good. So this is how you would build up leaving your dog in the crate for a longer period of time. You just want to take it in slow steps, make sure that they are comfortable being in the crate, like Chase is here. You can also make it a lot more comfortable for them by just leaving the crate open in the house, so that if they go in there voluntarily, they're not just going to be shut in. We want it to create a safe space for them to go to. You can also give them their dinner in the crate. Also chews or toys and anything like that that's going to make it more positive for them. So this is one method of teaching your dog to love the crate that we like here at Royvon. There are many different methods. I prefer this method over others just because we're working to change your dog's previous negative experience with the crate, if they've previously got stressed in it, to something positive and a nice place to be. It can be really useful to teach your dog this behaviour if you need to put your dog away, if you've got guests coming into the house, or if you would just like to have them in a safe place when you're leaving the house and for them to feel relaxed and comfortable rather than stressed, barking or possibly chewing your furniture. So make sure that if you are going to get a crate for your dog, it's size appropriate. Chase is a small whippet, so the crate I was using is big enough for him. Obviously bigger breeds will need a bigger crate. So I hope you enjoyed the video and I hope it's been helpful.